Hello, and this is my regular look at polling for UK government and politics. And today I want to start with the polling for the next elections to take place for the Welsh Senate, the Welsh Parliament. And it's a really interesting situation because Labour have dominated Welsh politics for decades. They have very rarely suffered badly at the ballot box in Wales, either at general elections, local elections, or indeed at the Welsh Assembly and now Parliament elections. The Welsh Assembly, as it was when it was set up in 1998, is now called the Welsh Parliament or the Senate Cymru. And we can take a look at how polling is going at the moment for those elections, which take place in May 2026. That's going to go quick. It will be interesting to see where things are nearer to that election. But as things stand, Labour have dropped significantly to that point there in the low 20s. And ahead of them, you have a mix of Plaid Cymru doing well, the Welsh nationalists, and of course Reform. And I can't emphasize enough how astonishing this would be to see Labour in third place, if indeed things are like this when we get to May next year. A lot of people will be looking at the national picture and seeing Reform rise across the UK anyway, and obviously that is impacting in Wales. Another thing to bear in mind is that they are moving to a new electoral system. They are ditching the additional member system, which they've used since devolution was set up. Scotland is keeping it. The Welsh Parliament has decided that they are going to have 90 seats, which is an increase. I think there were 65 at the moment. 90 seats using a party list system across 16 different constituencies. And it's going to be proportional, is what they hope. Normally, the system they use produces a more proportional result than first past the post anyway. So we will see how it emerges. But on these figures, it's hard to work out what a government might look like, because I'm not sure who would be able to work with Reform. Let's say Reform get the most votes, or the most seats rather, and who are they going to be able to do a coalition with? I don't think they'll be able to do a coalition with Plaid Cymru. They might be able to do something with the Conservatives, but think about what message that sends to Westminster and the direction that means potentially for the country. And they certainly wouldn't do one with Labour. So we could be looking at some very interesting negotiations, Labour and Plaid Cymru perhaps. The Liberal Democrats are down on around about 8%, 7%. Will they have enough people for a coalition to be formed with them? The Greens similarly. It's going to be a fascinating situation if the picture still looks something like this. It's going to be uncharted territory for Welsh politics, and it's going to have a knock-on effect. It's going to have an impact for UK politics as well. Wales could be heading towards a coalition the like of which we've not really seen before. So that is something that is really interesting me, and I'm going to keep a close eye on it as we move towards those elections. Next time I'll probably look at Scotland. But before we end, let's take a look at the UK polling situation as it stands. And if you remember last time, if you watched the video last time, you will have noticed that last time the Labour line was kind of flat. It is no longer flat anymore. It is going down again. With Reform a little bit more stable at around about 30%, nearly 30%, and the Conservatives beginning to creep up a little. August that we've just had, August is the quietest political month of the year, so you don't expect massive amounts of change. Not a lot is going on, except actually there's an awful lot going on, isn't there? There is the ongoing situation in Gaza. There's the ongoing situation in Ukraine. They're thinking domestically, there has been the issue to do with asylum seekers being held at hotels, and the demonstrations near those hotels, and the counter demonstrations as well. So it's not that we haven't seen anything going on. We've even had a government minister resign in August as well. Rushnara Ali resigned from her position as minister responsible for combating homelessness after it emerged that she had put a property that she owned on the market, turfing her tenants out, and then when it didn't sell, she put it back on the market at a much higher price for rental, something that the government is trying to outlaw. You have to wonder about the quality of politicians when they do that sort of thing. Her resignation letter was less than helpful, I think, because she clearly didn't think she'd done anything wrong. So that's a bit of a problem. So all of those things will have had an impact on Labour's poll rating. I think probably the hotels is the biggest thing. Immigration continues to dominate the media coverage, and so and it's not like they're not doing stuff to deal with it either. They have announced their plans that they want to close, they want to stop housing people in hotels by the end of the Parliament. It doesn't seem to be quick enough for people, or maybe people don't know their policy. And certainly Reform is just one of the parties taking advantage of the increased interest in the public around that issue, particularly after the Conservatives managed to get a court order to have one of these hotels not used anymore for that purpose. So that is going to carry on dominating the politics of the day, and I suspect Labour are going to go down further. It's that line from the that red line from the beginning of the Parliament last July when they won the election. Their popularity has really done nothing but plummet, and you have to start to wonder why they approached their first year in the way that they did. It will be seen in the future as a terrible mistake. One of the things that doesn't get shown in this, and I might do a video, maybe another polling video at some point, we'll look at this, the approval rating of the government and the approval rating of Keir Starmer. Keir Starmer's approval rating, I believe, is lower than that of the approval rating of his government. And so there are now questions being asked about how long Keir Starmer can continue as leader of the Labour Party and therefore Prime Minister. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's leave it there for now. That is the poll watch for this month. I will keep on top of it all and give you some pointers next month as to what is happening and potentially why it is happening. But I hope that's good for now. Happy studying. Bye-bye.